Hello everyone. This video will be on the Chapter 6 Revenue and Other Income Worksheet 2. Okay, I will read the question and I will dissect it and followed by a timeline so that you can see it visually, and then I'll go through the questions as follows. Okay, so let's start. Shani's Salon provides hairstyling consultation services. So this will tell you that this is a service business. The business provided the following information for the year ended 30th of June. Okay, this should tell you that this is the financial year end. And as you can see, 30th of June 2019, this is the financial year end, and this is the start of the financial year. Okay, now you can read on consultation fee income receivables, and you have it at 3,500, and this appears at the end of the financial year. Followed by consultation fee income received in advance, okay, and this is 7,000, and this is at the start of the financial year. Now, I would like to point out that some students do make that mistake that whenever they see this first income, they will assume that this is for the start of the financial year, 1st of July 2018. Okay, this is not true. As you can see from this question, just because they give you the account first in the question, doesn't mean that the amount will fall at the start of financial year. In fact, this receivable, even though this is the first account that they gave you in this question, it appears at the end of the financial year. The receive in advance, okay, this is at the start of the financial year. Okay, now during the year, checks of 40,500 will receive as consultation fee income, and this is pretty straightforward. Okay, this refers to the money that you receive in the form of checks during the year. Okay, now I will be drawing a timeline so that you can see it visually. Now, to draw a good timeline, okay, basically all you need is two dates: the start of the financial year and the end of the financial year, and you can fill it up as follows. Now, if you like, and actually I would highly encourage you to also write down this timeline. Okay, even though questions do not require this, okay, but if you are at a stage where you still need this to help you understand why, I will encourage you to draw it as well. Okay, now since this is the start of the financial year and this is the end of the financial year, this is what we call the current financial year. Okay, FY means financial year, and if this is the current financial year, the year before is what we call the previous financial year, and the year after the current financial year, okay, we just call it the next financial year. Okay, now we'll talk about the question. Okay, at the start of the financial year, okay, we are talking about the receive in advance of 7,000. So we have a receive in advance at the start of the financial year. I will use RIA to represent receive in advance. Okay, now we have to go back to the definition of a receive in advance. Okay, what does receive in advance tell you about this 7,000? Okay, so receive in advance is 7,000 refers to you receiving the money in advance. So this 7,000 was actually received by the business in this part of the timeline, okay, the previous financial year. And according to the definition of a receive in advance, okay, when will you earn the income? You will earn the income in the following year. This is where you earn the income. Okay, and of course the golden question is always, did we earn the income in this current financial year? And the answer is yes for this receive in advance 7,000, and that is why we will be adding this 7,000 into our income. Okay, now we have a receivable at the end of the year, so we'll talk about that now. Okay, if we have a receivable at the end of the year, okay, we'll go back to the definition again. The definition of a receivable is when you earn the income in this financial year and you will receive the money in the following financial year. Okay, now if you know the accrual basis of accounting very well, okay, we do not care when we receive the money. The one that I'm circling in gray, okay, we do not care whether we have received or paid the money, okay, but we care when we earn it. And for the receivable at the end of the year, since we earn it in this current financial year, we will add this income as well. Okay, so we are recognizing these two parts. Okay, so with that done, okay, we will go on to the journal entries now. Now, before we go on to the journal entries, okay, I think that I missed out one part, okay, which is the checks of 40,000. Okay, I'll just want to indicate here on the timeline as well. So when we talk about checks of 40,500, we are talking about a cash at bank of 40,500. Okay, and this will be recorded as consultation fee income, and that is why this will be in your income as well. Okay, so we will go on to the journal entries now. Now, we will deal with the account that we have at the start of the year. Okay, it is a consultation fee income received in advance. Okay, so when we do journal entries, I always like to do the easier entry first. Okay, so we have concluded that this received in advance of 7,000. We want to add this income into the financial year, the current financial year's total income. We want to add this income because we have earned this income in this current financial year, and that is why the easier entry here will be to credit the consultation fee income. Okay, if you credit the consultation fee income, okay, you are adding the income. And why are you adding the income? Okay, what for? Okay, this is because of consultation fee income received in advance, this account. Okay, and that is why the other entry which you will debit is consultation fee income received in advance. Okay, now when we talk about the cash at bank, okay, of course when you receive checks, you will debit cash at bank. And why are you debiting cash at bank? For consultation fee income. Okay, so these two entries are pretty simple. I will move these entries down. Okay, at any point of time during this video, if you want to copy down, you can actually pause the video. Okay, now we'll go on to the next one. Before we close this entries, we would talk about the last account at the end of the year, which is a receivable. And as explained previously, okay, we have to add this income, okay, because if we have a receivable at the end of the year, it means that we have earned this income in this current financial year. We do not care whether we will receive the money next year or not. Okay, we will receive the money next year, but that is not our concern. Our concern is always whether did we earn this income this financial year, this current financial year. Okay, and we did earn this, and that is why we will plus the income again, which is crediting consultation fee income 3,500. And why are we crediting it? Because of consultation fee income receivable. Okay, this one. Now with that out of the way, okay, I just like to point out that these three entries, you have a credit of consultation fee income of 7,500, another credit of consultation fee income of 40,500, and you have another consultation fee income of 3,500. These are the income that you earn in this financial year. Okay, and if we want to transfer these numbers into the statement of financial performance, we will actually transfer it to we will close it to the income summary. And how do we close it? Okay, we will debit consultation fee income so that the income, this number will be transferred to this account called income summary. When you transfer the number to income summary, you are transferring it to the statement of financial performance, which you will see later on. Now, why did I write 51,500? Okay, is basically these three numbers that are highlighted. These three numbers add up together, since these numbers are the income that you earn this year. Okay. Okay, if you need to take some time to copy down the entries, okay, you can pause the video. I would like to also clarify this point where about why I didn't write the dates for these entries and these entries. Okay, this is because that both sets of entries happen on the same day as 30th of June. Okay, so since these two happen on the same dates, I will not repeat writing the same dates. Okay, now when we talk about an extract of the financial statement, the statement of financial performance, okay, we are talking about the name of the business followed by the title, and you have this thing called the consultation fee income. Oops, so consultation fee income of 51,500. Okay, where did I get this number from? I got it from here, the number that you transferred to income summary. Okay, so when you transfer it to income summary, this is where the number will appear in your statement. Okay, since they are asking you for an extract and not a whole statement, you have to include the word extract over here. Okay, if you do not write the word extract over here, I will expect a whole statement, which you do not have enough information in this question to do a whole statement. So please remember, if they are asking you only for a small part of the statement, include the word extract. Alright, and as you can see here, there's a typo. It should be 30th of June. Okay, and we'll move on to the statement of financial position. Okay, a statement of financial position is as follows. Okay, name of the business followed by the title. Statement of financial position for the year ended. It's not for the year ended. It is as at not 31st March again. It is 30th of June 2019. And again, I write the word extract, okay, to show that this is only a small part of the statement. Okay, and then current assets and consultation fee income receivable, and this is the account that we have at the end of the year, this one. And according to our timeline, we have a receivable at the end of the year. What happened to this? Okay, this has already been cleared during the year. Okay, so the account that they give you at the start of the financial year usually disappears during the year. Okay, so you only have the account at the end of the financial year. Okay, why is it under current assets? Okay, because it is a receivable. Now explain the effects on profit for the year and the statement of financial position if the consultation fee income receivable was not adjusted. Okay, so this is an explanation type of question. What will happen to the profit? Now I need you to understand that if this receivable was not adjusted, okay, if this receivable was not adjusted, it means that this entry will not appear at all. Okay, now look what happens when I do not do these entries. Okay, it has magically disappeared. So if you do not have these entries, okay, what happens to your total income? Your total income will just be these two numbers added up together, which is 48,000. Okay, so these numbers will change to 48,000 as well. And since you change these two numbers to 48,000, what will appear in under your income will be 48,000. You will see this. And since 48,000 is lower than the correct number, which is 51,500, this will understate your income. Now since this number will understate your income, the profit for the year will be understated. Okay, how much will it be understated? Okay, it will be understated by this amount, 3,500. Why 3,500? Because this is the amount that you did not adjust. Okay, so the answers for this is, it will be profit for the year will be understated by 3,500. Okay, this is the answer. Okay, it's very important for effects kind of question that you say the effect and you also say the value. Okay, you say the effect, understated or overstated, and you say the value. Okay, now they also want you to explain the effects on the statement of financial position, which is this. Now, do you understand, if you do not adjust these entries at all, if it's not there at all, you will not have any account at the end of the year. It is as if, back to the timeline, it is as if this account over here is not there at all. It's not there at all. Okay, so imagine this account is not there at all. Okay, so what happens when this account is not there at all? Okay, you will not have a receivable, so this will be gone. Now, we should have a receivable, but now, because we did not adjust, it is gone. Okay, so your current assets will be understated by the same amount, 3,500. Why will the current assets be understated? Because we should have we should have this, okay? We should have a current asset and receivable of 3,500, but because we did not adjust, it is not there. It is not there. Okay, so that's why current assets will be understated, and by how much? 3,500. So just be very careful, okay? In this question, I know that it is long, but please be mindful that they are actually asking you for two different things. One, the effects on the profit, and two, the effects on the statement of financial position. If they ask you for the statement of financial positions effects, okay, please be very clear whether is it current assets that you're talking about or current liabilities. For in this case, I said it is a current asset because this is a receivable that we are talking about, and receivable is under the current assets. Okay, you can pause here if you need to copy. Alright, we will continue with question 2. So again, I will be explaining the question, but this time round, maybe I will not draw the timeline. So Lucius is a sole owner of Lucius Law Firm. Okay, so again, this is a service business. Information from the accounts for the business ended 30th of September is as follows. Okay, so this is our financial year end. So if this is our financial year end, if you plus 1 day and minus 1 year, this refers to the start of the financial year. Okay, so the start of the year, your trade receivable had a balance of 2,400. Now you have to think with me, okay, since this is a receivable, we know that receivable means that you will earn the income in the previous year and you will only receive the money in the following year, which is this year. Okay, so since at the start of the year we have a receivable, it means that we did not earn the income this year. We earned the income in the previous year. Okay, and that is why we should not include the income of 2,400 this year. Okay, so we have to minus the income. So the debit entry for this will be debit law fee revenue. Okay, why law fee revenue? Because we are talking about a Lucius law firm. Okay, the revenue is called law fee. Okay, and what is the account? The account is trade receivable. So let me explain again. Why is it debit law fee revenue? Because this is a receivable at the start of the year. If you have a receivable at the start of the year, it means that you earned the income in the previous year, not this year. And since you earned it in the previous year and not this year, you will not include, you will minus this income from this year's income. Okay, so minusing income means debit revenue. Okay, now during the year you receive checks and recorded this one. Okay, this one I think is pretty straightforward. Okay, you will just record it as debit cash at bank and credit law fee revenue 67,000. And this is also the reason why you deduct the revenue. As you can see, okay, you receive checks of 67,000, and out of these checks that you receive, okay, it includes the 2,400. Do you see that this amount over here, it included the amount here? Okay, why? Because the receivable at the start of the year means that you earned it in the previous year, but you will receive the money in the following year, which is this year. Okay, you receive the money this year, and this is the money that you receive this year. So this 2,400 is actually hidden in this 67,000. And since you are recording 67,000, the whole thing as law fee revenue, but we know out of this 67,000, 2,400 that you receive is for the income that you earned in the previous year. And that is why I have debited this revenue. So that when I credit this revenue of 67,000, because of this entry over here that I debited the law fee revenue of 2,400, I will achieve the true income that I earned this year. Okay, now we see something strange here. Okay, instead of telling you the account at the end of the year, they tell you that the law fee revenue earned for the year is 83,000. Now what does this mean? Okay, the law fee revenue earned for the year is 83,000. This means that the law fee revenue that you will transfer to the income summary at the end of the year is 83,000. This is the real amount that you earn this year. Okay, so because of this information, we will do the closing entries as follows. Okay, we will debit the whole revenue of 83,000 and we will credit it all to income summary. Now we are not done yet, okay? There is a problem, okay? If you look at this entry, okay, and this entry, so far these are the two income that we have recorded, okay? And this refers to a negative 2,400. Okay, so let me write it here. This actually refers to, okay, give me a moment to get my pen working. Okay, this actually refers to a negative 2,400 because this is not income that we earned this year, and this 67,000 is the income that we are recording this year. And so far you should have an income of, if my mental sum does not fail me, okay, this is 64,600. This is the revenue that you have recorded so far. But with this information over here, they are trying to tell you that your income that you earn for this year is 83,000. Now if you compare these two numbers, okay, you will realize that actually there is a difference between these two numbers, and the difference refers to the income that you also earn this year. Okay, so how do we fix this? There is only one account at the end of the year to show that you still earn the income, and that account is a receivable, okay, a trade receivable. Now why isn't it a receive in advance? Now if you have a receive in advance, it means that you will only earn the income in the next financial year. You only receive the money at the start of the year, I mean during the year. Okay, so for this, okay, so we have to make up for the revenue. We have to add it up so that it becomes 83,000, and that is why we will debit a trade receivable at the end of the year. Okay, so you can pause the video here so that you can copy down the journal entries. So basically the workings is this number over here refers to 64,600, and why did I take 83,000 to minus this number to find the difference? So the difference is 18,400. Okay, so if you want, you can pause here before I go on to the last question for this worksheet. Okay, let's move on to the last question for this worksheet. Okay, Jovan Jobs is a job agency that helps to recruit people for the right jobs. Information for the accounts of the year for the year ended 31st December 2019 was as follows. So as usual, this is our financial year end, which means that 1st of January 2019 is the financial start. Okay, the start of the financial year. So on the start of the financial year, you have a consultation fee revenue received in advance. Okay, so if you have a receive in advance at the start of the year, it means that you received the money in the previous year, and you will earn the revenue in the following year, which is this current year. Okay, which means that this 600 is income that I want to record this year. Okay, so we will credit consultation fee revenue of 600, and this is because of consultation fee revenue received in advance. All right, now during the year, consultation fee revenue received in advance amounted to 850. Now, there's something very strange about this question. Instead of telling you the checks or cash that you received during the year, there has no information on money at all. Okay, so during the year, consultation fee revenue received in advance amounted to 850. So let's just deal with this information first. So during the year, which is we will record it at the end of the year, since they did not provide a date during the year. So we will just assume that it is by the end of the year. You have a consultation fee revenue received in advance. Now, if you have a consultation fee revenue received in advance at the end of the year, it means that you will only earn this income in the next financial year. Okay, you will not earn it this year. You will earn it next year. So if you earn it next year, you do not want this income this year. So you will debit the consultation fee revenue, and you will credit this thing called consultation fee revenue received in advance. And once again, the last information that they gave you is the revenue earned for the year is 38,000. So what can you do for journal entries when they give you this information? All you can do is to close it to income summary. And so you will debit consultation fee revenue 38,000, and you credit income summary, transferring it all to income summary. Now let's take a look at your revenue so far. Okay, so since this is a credit revenue, okay, this is a credit revenue, and that is why I will put a plus 600 over here. Okay, and if you see here, this is a debit consultation fee revenue of 850. If this is a debit, okay, it is a minus 850. So far you have an income of a negative 250. Now this is obviously there's a problem with this because you are saying that you have a revenue of negative 250, but the question has told you that you have a revenue of 38,000. Okay, this means that there is something that is missing. Okay, so how much did you receive in money by the end of the year? You have received a total of 38,250. Okay, why? Because you need this revenue, you need to credit this revenue, so that with this entry over here, can you see that with this entry over here, your revenue will be added 38,250, and it will give you a net revenue of 38,000, which is what you want given in the question. Okay, you can pause here so that you can copy the journal entries. Okay, right now I will be going to do the consultation fee revenue account. Okay, so the consultation fee revenue account, okay, as usual, okay, we will do by writing the symbols for the debit and credit. Since this is a revenue account, debit is minus and credit is a plus. Okay, so something happened on 1st of January. So you will credit this 600, and that is why I will put this 600 over here. Okay, and why this is the account that is affecting it, so you will put it here. And right now you have a 600 credit. Okay, and then you'll go on. Okay, you will debit this 850 because consultation fee revenue under your journal entries is a debit 850. So you'll find it like this. The 850 will appear in the debit column. And why is it debited? Okay, because of this account, consultation fee revenue received in advance. And you have 250 debit. And as you can see, how do you get 250 debit? This is exactly the same as a negative 250 according to our calculations previously. Okay, and then the next one, which is debiting the consultation fee revenue, 38,000. So you will see these entries. 38,000 will appear under the debit because revenue is debited. And the other account is income summary, so you'll find it here. And that is why the last entry to make the whole revenue account 0, okay, which is the target, which is what we aim to do. Since at the end of the year, revenue account will be zeroized and transferred to the income summary. Okay, we have to add in a cash at bank and credit this 38,250 so that this account is zeroized. You can pause here to copy down the entries in the consultation fee revenue account. Okay, so that's the end of this worksheet. Okay, if you need help for further explanation, okay, feel free to call or WhatsApp me, okay, or even to arrange a consultation slot. Okay, thank you very much.